muses, and more Wheel of Time chaos, and most particularly Lord of Chaos, part 2, rather, because we got all the way up to the big, most awesome ending ever with Nerdporeal Lifeform, who is once again back.
Thanks for having me. Always
Well,
fun to talk about Lord of Chaos in particular.
yes.
This was, I wasn't sure if I was going to, like I said before, wasn't sure if I was going to continue the series because this one got hyped up by everybody, especially
Mhm.
the ending. So everybody knows how I felt about Fires of Heaven. Everybody knows how I felt about Shadow Rising. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm being sold a lemon here with this series. So
Mhm.
I read this, and I read it, and I kept reading it, and I was like really getting into it. This was the end of this book felt very J.R.R. Tolkien. It felt like I was reading Lord of the Rings, like the moments of bravery, the moments of high stakes, and it's everything you want in a fantasy.
Yes. I remember getting into the finale when I was reading it. I was dog sitting and I just didn't go to sleep till I was done. Yeah, it was just nope, couldn't stop. I'd been warned. I've been warned by you and warned by a whole lot of other people, but yes, it definitely did not disappoint. But what also does not disappoint are super chats. Well, thank you, Nordporeal Lifeform, for $20. Uh-oh. A few days ago, the day a Nordporeal realized he effed up. I am so sorry for falling asleep and forcing you to reschedule. Hope this satisfies the toe. Okay. Haha. Well, yes, we no longer have toe with each other. It happens. It really does. Especially, I remember back in the day when I was teaching full time and you would just get home from work and you just crash. So I completely understand. So
Yeah,
I won't be
yeah,
whipping you. I'll take the
it was.
$20.
Yeah, yeah. You haven't gotten that far in Path of Daggers yet, but Rand owes some toe,
Oh, I'm sure he does.
and you'll see how he pays for it.
Oh boy. Oh dear me. Okay, well that
Yeah.
sounds pretty decent. I can't wait. I'm halfway through the that book. Can't I'm gonna pass you. I mean, we talked about this backstage. I think I'm gonna pass you. I've only got like 200 pages left of this one, and then I'm gonna go straight right into the other. But I have an unfair advantage because I have a busted knee that I've been having to kind of rest up and ice and all that. So I've had more opportunity to sit on my buttocks and read. So that is indeed what I have done. So, well, we have here Swift -1. Thank you for being here. Great to see you as always. And John 5. Hello. Hey, thank you for being here. And for all of you that will be watching on the replay, I know a lot of my friends from the future are currently asleep and they will be listening in later. So, wow. Well, when the last time we quit this game previously on Lord of Chaos Review Part 1, we got up to where everything really hits the fan and builds to an amazing end. So I didn't know if you wanted to. Well, you wanted to start us off actually in Saladar in chapter 46 with an event.
Yeah. So we're actually in Camelin. So this is
Oh,
right
my
after
fault.
Perrin. This is right after Perrin arrives. He meets his in-laws, Davram, and I forget Mrs. Bashir.
Yes.
So apparently there's two Aes Sedai camps. There's one in Camelin. They're the ones from Saladar, and then there's the one camped out in um there's the embassy camped out in Kyrian. That's Elida's group. That's the Tarvalon Aes Sedai. Um, but this group there's been a lot of tension throughout this book between Rand and them. Rand set specific rules and regulations on how they are to, go about their business in the city, especially not, coming packs of like more than like 6 or 7, because they could easily, because of the fact that they can link, they can overtake and overpower him, which is
Mhm.
ultimately what happens, which is everything that he was afraid that was going to happen happens to him. It just happens in a way you're like, okay, when's this going to happen? We thought, I mean, the tension was the tension was building uh, starting here and then going into 49 and into the Mirror of Mist. If you remember the Mirror of Mist, Moraine uses that in Eye of the World, where she casts this ability to make herself look like a giant and then
Mm,
walk over the wall of Burlon. If you remember that, that's when they first meet the White Cloaks in Eye of the World.
yes. And and then this Aes Sedai does something very similar, or rather, all of them do it together. I forget if am I right on that? Is that
Yeah,
all
they
of them
do.
or
They
one of
do
them?
something very similar. They confront him. They confront him after one of their own. Demera Arif is the Aes Sedai. I don't remember this character, but she's just, she's. They have eyes and ears. They're agents. Walking around Kyrian. They meet with them. Well, she gets assaulted by a bunch of people dressed as Aiel, and then they basically say, "Hey, you cannot talk to the Dragon Reborn." All that, and we find out that they are corrupted by a certain individual who may or may not have appeared in this book very briefly. Um, and they kind of begin that sequence of events, and then so they decide to go to and confront. They decide. Besides that, a couple of other Aes Sedai show up that were originally supposed to look for him in the waste, but they
Mm.
come back. I forget their names. I think Karuna is one. Karuna Nachiman, and I think Marana is the other. I think I'm trying to maybe they didn't even show up yet. Maybe they show up. They show up. Actually, no. I think they show up. They show up, and then they show up next, and then they confront him. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't show up. I'm trying to remember exactly what happens.
Well, I mean, the way the chapter ended, chapter 46, I've got it here because it was a lot of it was about Perrin and all them. It's just got, let's see, it's, well, dagnabbit. Okay. Wait, is that 40? Yeah, that is 46. Oh, it's talking about Perrin and see there we have Morana. I get very confused by all of these names. I think that they're way too similar. Then there's Demira, but yeah, the chick that got stabbed in the side. See, it's like the spirit went into her side with such a shock she did not even cry out, and darkness closed in. And this was, um, well, who was it?
Her name was Demera.
Demir. Okay. Yeah.
And then she gets stabbed, and then she comes to shortly afterwards, and so she survives the assault.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's basically told witches are supposed to she's called a witch, and they're like, stay away from the Dragon Reborn and all that, blah blah blah. And yeah, it was a close call with her. And then we get Varen and this one Aes Sedai named Marana, and they're like, okay, what are we going to do about this? We have to respond.
Yeah, because they were like, yeah, they were saying it was intended you should know that Aiel had killed me, or maybe that I was to be found before I died. I was told to tell you all to stay away from Althor. Exact words. Tell the other Richards, yeah, to stay away from the Dragon Reborn. I could hardly deliver that message dead, could I? How were my wounds placed?
Mm-hmm.
She says, yeah.
So shortly after that, they go and they confront Rand
Yeah.
in the throne room in the Camelin Palace, and that's where they channel. That's where they do the Mirror of Mist. They channel and they cast an illusion that makes them look menacing. They're just there to intimidate him, basically.
Yeah.
So
Well, Baronisia says we must at least show Althor he cannot treat Aes Sedai in this fashion. Yeah.
yeah, so they're basically like, we are through listening to you. We are not going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
So
we are Aes Sedai, and you're going to listen to us. And you are, what did they say? They said it all together. You are going to respect us.
yes, and he just easily breaks their illusion and says, "Sorry, restrictions stand."
Yeah. Well, and not just that, but they are really underestimating because they don't know, they're not in his head, how much he is so mistrustful of the Aes Sedai at this point because he already got tricked by Alana by forcing him to be the warder to her, and then that more and more keep showing up, and he realizes, hey, they're going to be able to form a 13 and entrap me. So, and then by them going and acting like this, it's like
Mm-hmm.
confirming to him they're coming for me, and it's not a good idea. I wanted to say a quick hi to Salty if you're still here to bounce in and say hey to go get him, Tigers. Thank you if you're still here. Thank you for being here. But I really understand where Rand is coming from because he wasn't exactly wrong. It's just that these women were just totally misreading the situation, that this was the worst thing that they could have done.
Yeah, especially at the time too. So I mean, because he's kind of at his all time high when it comes to not trusting Aes Sedai. He doesn't have Moraine there to guide him, so he's alone in this. So um, so yeah, so not only so this happens, but then two other Aes Sedai come and they kind of take over that group. You got Bera Harkin and Karuna Nachiman. And they basically take over the group. They meet Min. And then they're just like, and then I think they decide, okay, with those two added, there's 13 of them now.
Yep.
And Min tells Rand this, and Rand's like, okay, I have to fly the hell out of here. So they leave, basically. Him, Perrin, they all go to Cairhien and stay in. And well, the plan is to stay indefinitely until the Aes Sedai leave. So yeah. Just make a gateway. It's one of the things, like this book, it's just make a gateway. As long as he knows where he's at, he can make a gateway. And also, if he knows where exactly he's got to go, he can make a gateway. The thing about the end of this book is he can't make a gateway because he doesn't know where he is. So he can't really travel. So that's kind of, at least that I was kind of wondering how Robert Jordan was gonna, get around that. And that's so there's a lot of rules that you have to remember. That's not easy. But that is not easy to remember. There's a lot of stuff I forget.
Yeah. Well, and it makes complete sense. It all does fit together. It's all connected. But by him doing that, it actually put him into a worse situation because it was the Reds, the chick sent by Aleda, he's going to have to deal with, and he falls right into their trap. And I just was ready to kill him. I was so mad at him. I was like, dude, after everything that's happened. Because what happens, of course, is they came to see him, and he's all, I'm not going to let the Aes Sedai get to me. And then he's like, oh, they're trying to bribe me. Look, they brought a bunch of servants to bring me gold. And I'm like, dude, it's a bunch of chicks.
Yeah. It's like, he probably didn't see their faces until too late. Then he realized it. Then he's just like, they do their thing, and then he's shielded. He can't move at all. He's stiff.
13. Yeah, and kidnapped. I mean, but
and they just shove him. They just shove him in a box. They shove him in a box, and so because he's really tall, he can't fit in the box. So they have to bend him. He has to bend. So he's he's folded in the box.
Yeah. And that's the way he stays for days. It's essentially a horrendous form of torture. And I couldn't help but think about the way it was, like you said, how he had to be bent over. He was in this box. He was being carried in this box and, all dirty and hot and being beaten and not really being fed properly. Very Vietnamish. You would hear about that in Vietnam. The prisoners that they would sometimes do that or be in those situations. So definitely that was one of my first thoughts, and how much he was, for lack of a better word, how screwed he was. And the pain that he was in and the humiliation. And of course, these witches, now I'm going to sound like a white cloak, they're going to live to regret it because, of course, what's going to happen is I don't know if we want to get into that big bursty moment yet, but spoiler alert, he's going to basically turn into the Incredible Hulk or something and just go berserk. Like, you don't want to make me angry.
Yeah, you don't want to make him angry, and you just you you realize that he's on a tip. He's on a tipping point. Like
Mhm.
he cannot handle being in there much longer.
No.
Like it's gonna literally cause him to go insane, basically.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but like he's in the box all day, and then they take him out and they beat him. And
Yeah.
the reason why they beat him, especially this one Aes Sedai, I forget what her name is. He kills her warder. He tries to fight back, and he kills a couple of this one Aes Sedai's warders. And she's just, if you've read the book, like one thing that Jordan was really exploring was the bond.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
there was obviously Rand gets bonded to Alana. There's the chapter where Semiraj, the Forsaken chick, the sadistic Forsaken chick is torturing an Aes Sedai, and then she and then she tries to torture her warder by giving him by filling him with pleasure and then killing him to the point where in the other room you hear the Aes Sedai screaming. So
Mm,
the just ripping just killing someone that's bonded to you, ripping them away from you is massively traumatic.
yeah.
And that's what this book that book this established that. So when Rand kills a couple of this Aes Sedai's warders, she just she's just in this she's just crazy. She just goes crazy and just starts beating him, and then the rest of them, especially Galena and a few others, take turns beating him
Yeah.
when he's not in the chest. So you go from being in the chest to that state, especially in this really tiny space, and you can't move, to being beaten.
Yeah.
I mean that's just um, that's enough to make any man break or
Exactly.
broken.
Not to mention, as you say, that he's already on his sanity or insanity. He's got the loose theron thing in his head as well. Or at this point, I don't know if he's hearing him, or I think it's when he hears him he goes berserk. But either way, we've also got a man that's very much afraid that he's going crazy, that he knows when he gets to where the Tarvalin, where they're taking him, that it's going to be worse. I mean, goodness knows what Aleda and all them and the other Reds are going to do to him. And uh, he was already kind of a bit of a caged animal to begin with before he literally became one.
Yeah,
And I feel like, what is it, like they say in Jaws, they don't know what they're dealing with here. They didn't get what they were playing at. Like, while we can understand their rage, and as you say, you don't kill my warder and all of that, but it's like, listen, this guy's like the Dragon Reborn. They're acting like he's just your average false dragon.
yeah.
It's like, no.
And like, so the thing was, the Aes Sedai were really they tried to be as slick about this as they could, so they didn't leave right away to avoid any suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the fact that Rand was coming and going anyways, there was a lot of people were like, oh, okay, he did that, I could believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So um so they have the Festival of Lights going on. So he's been gone for like, I think, how long has he been gone now? He's been gone for like 6 days. He's been gone for 6 days at this point. The Feast of Lights, which is basically, Dane tells me it's Christmas. It's Christmas in their world.
That sounds
I
about
guess.
right.
I mean, I guess. Um, and there's a point where there's um, like Min's not there, but there's a um, I think Min saw some visions of some of the Kyrianen, and some of the stuff kind of came to pass. One character was stabbed, and one other character is Colaver. If you remember Colaver, she's the one that gets the one that tries to. She's the noble woman that tries to get close to Rand, and Avienda just drags her away by the hair, pulls her by the hair, and drags her away from him.
Oh,
And this was in the Fires of Heaven. This was when right after they take Kyrian. So we see more of her in the next. We'll see a little bit more of her in the next book, but apparently she's trying to take the throne of Kyrian right now. So
oh yes, because while Elaine is gone, and yeah, and she takes advantage of that. But yeah, that's a big part of the next book. Well, and the other thing is that Min also, like you said, it was disappeared as well. But they're thinking, oh well, by this point, him and Min are hanging out together. So again, they just didn't think that was a big deal. Min and him are just off somewhere making out, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was the perfect trap. He didn't realize that everything he did ensured that not only would they be able to take him, but that other people wouldn't be suspicious until it was almost too late.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say another thing that he kept repeating to himself while he was in the box is never trust Aes Sedai, never trust Aes Sedai. And yeah, Lucerne is in there too, saying, I killed my Elena or Eliana. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whoever his chick was. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Lucerne. He always reminds him.
Oh,
that
Eliana.
He killed
Eliana.
Yeah. Eliana. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
So how did they find out? How did they determine that Rand has been he didn't just leave, he was abducted. So Berlain finds the sword. Berlain finds his sword. Mm-hmm. And she's just shocked, because that was something I would never leave behind. And Sulin, remember Sulin, the maiden? Yes. The gray-haired maiden, she's just like, they have taken him. The Aes Sedai have taken my first brother.
Oh yeah.
She's just so And then
dramatic.
Everyone's like, be calm, good woman. Go into the next room and be calm. We cannot allow her to spread word. You do not recognize me. Wear this dress and with my hair grown longer. Speak of me again as though I am not here, and I will give you what I hear Ruark gave you in the Stone of Tyr. And should have since. That's when she fights with Fael in Shao Rising. They have this little cat fight going on. I actually was surprised. I was actually really surprised when that happened. I was like, oh, this is getting interesting right here. So
cool. Well, yeah, everyone likes a good cat fight. Thank you for being here, William Richards. Lewis Theron wants everyone dead. Elite character.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. especially the Ashraman, and Mazrim Time, and
yeah.
So there's a great point, very very great moment. Parents like, I'm gonna go after him. I'm gonna go after Rand. And when I read that moment right there, are you familiar with a video game called Chrono Trigger?
No.
It came out on Super Nintendo. It came out 30 years ago, this year actually. In the beginning of the game, the main character Chrono and the girl Marl, the blonde girl, are at a fair, and they witness an experiment that's gone wrong, and Marl gets sucked into a vortex that takes her to another time. And they're trying to figure out what to do, and Chrono, being the silent character that he is, just gets up and then you hear the theme. You hear the main theme to the game, the epic theme to the game. And,
Oh,
and they're like, everyone's like, they're looking at him. They're like, "You're going after him, aren't you?" And then your character nods. And then I got this very same feeling when parents like, "I'm going after Rand," and then you have Loyal saying, you ain't going alone. I'm coming
yeah.
with you, buddy." And this is moments like these, the great moments of courage that are very, to me, very Lord of the Rings, very Tolkien.
Hmm. And or the movie that had the thing, and my axe and my
Yes,
bow.
yes, yes.
There was a
And,
moment in Airplane, I think it was Airplane One, or even though it's a stupid movie, something very similar when he decides he's going to try to fly the plane, and then they have like a big, like a stadium cheering. Same idea. It's like, yes, here we go. Let's do
Airplane.
this.
What's
Let's go for it.
Airplane? What's that? It's a movie with it's a movie with Leslie Nielsen, but that's not important right now. Okay,
Exactly, exactly.
I
But
can't do
similar concept.
I can't do the it's not important right now moment. You're like, okay, it's, I forgot how to describe. Yeah, but yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
What is it? A hospital? Um,
This person belongs in a hospital. Why? What is it? It's a building with patients, but that's not
with
important
sick
right
people.
now.
That's not important right now. Exactly. But in any case, the same concept. Like everyone cheers and everyone applauded. So they're gonna go and get Rand, who is hating everybody. And he made himself do the hardest thing he'd ever done in his life. He smiled because he was thinking about them making him crawl to Aleda. I don't know. Oh man. It's like, I will not cry out, never again, never again. I will never again trust an Aes Sedai, not an inch, not a hair. So it's like building up. And then Rand is arguing with Lews Therin inside his head. And
They're
Lews Therin
forced to
is like,
work
"You will
together.
work with me."
Yeah, they're forced to work. He's forced to work with Luce there, and Luce there tells him how to untangle the shield, the weave that causes the shield. So the
Yes.
shield, the only way to do it is when it's not active. So it's like having it's like a circuit, when the weave is tied, like it's still active, but it's not like directly active. It's just, it could be when the weave is tied. That's when they can untie it, basically.
Yes. And that was also kind of a cool moment as they came to this. And he's talking about season 3, Perrin's choice to run away was so stupid. Yeah, well, everything about that show was stupid, and yay, it's gone. And yeah, it's like hard when they not, but you can unravel if it's not, you can unravel a knot. So it's like that whole idea that it's like, as you just said, it's like, whoa, what a concept. And I
Yeah,
don't know, it's just really cool as you see him start to feel along it. And it says, gingerly, Rand felt along the shield to the soft points, to 6 Aes Sedai. With time, if they tied it, which they had not so far in, what was it, 6 days, 7, 8? And tomorrow he would try to break through the barrier. So he's kind of feeling along it and finding all the weak points. And was it Savannah and Galena? And it's just like, ladies, you don't know what you're winding up here. And the fact that
yeah.
he,
They're all fight. This whole thing was a fight over a man.
oh, yeah, exactly.
Women
Another
fighting
fight
over a
over men.
man. And
Yeah,
who rescues him? Man, Perrin.
exactly. It's like, see, William says, "You're one of those." I said, "If you're one of those," I said, "you had to know you were bone when you're in the middle of torturing this cat," and he's talking to himself. Yeah, it's like, don't you know, a man who can? I think that they really thought that the tie thing was going to be worse, and eventually, what makes him kind of lose his crap? What's like the final step, if you will, is when he hears one of them laugh at him while he's kind of whimpering or something, and he he heard like one of the women laugh from
Hmm.
inside the box. And then that's when he does his I mean, it's just crazy. It's like he explodes. It's like I imagine his clothes and everything just blows up, but like the entire box. Like he doesn't just burst out of it. He obliterates it.
Yeah,
And
and he stills like two or three of the Aes Sedai in the process.
yes.
And then he's like, because they can't, because they're so the battle's already going on at this point. The Aes Sedai are I think they're all linked. I might be wrong, but I think they're linked, and they're trying to hold off, the Aiel. They're trying to hold off, the 40,000 Aiel that are surrounding them. And you also have wise ones from far away that are shooting, they're channeling at them. So
Yeah.
that's why the wagons are all burning. That's why there's mayhem. And I'm surprised the Aes Sedai have held as long. I don't know if it's because the wise ones do not know how to link, whereas the Aes
Mhm.
Sedai know how to link. I don't know if that's the case. You can only link up to 13 anyways. So um
Yeah. And well, and I was a bit confused because I was like, when the hell did the battle start? It was like it just kind of
it started before Perrin got there. When Perrin gets there, the
yeah.
battle's already going on.
Yeah. So
And and of course we see how it begins in the next book. You already way past that already. So um but
yeah, but it like it happens off screen. We don't see the actual battle breaking out. We see that the battle had started. It's in the next book that they actually kind of tell us how it all went down, how shit hit the fan.
yeah, so they murder a wise one. So Savannah and her group murder another wise one, Desane, and use that as a pretext to to take on the Aes Sedai, because the only way that was the only way she could that's the only way that she could get them to attack Aes Sedai,
Yeah.
because yeah, because of that. And you find out that she has a call box too. So, and you already got past it, but I'm sure you know that she was in contact with a certain person from the past.
Exactly. And I wonder if there was some content from the next book that was originally supposed to be in this book, because it was almost like we kind of get a flashback at the beginning of the next book and we kind of relive some of these events as it happens during this battle. But
Possibly. I mean, it might have been. I don't know. It might have been written during this, and he decided to leave it, moving into the next book. I don't know for sure. Um,
yes.
but yeah, so this was Savannah basically saying, and this was set up in the. I don't know if you remember. This was set up in the prologue. There was a point where some of the that's one Katerina, I think, from her point of view, witnesses. They're right next to Gawain and his younglings, and they meet up with Savannah and other Shido to kind of set this up. That they were supposed to escort them, be escorts, um, going to Tarvalon. Well, apparently Savannah, had other plans, and
Yeah.
she wants the dragon she wants the Karakar and the dragon for herself, so that she can just have the ultimate power or something. Honestly, I think this could have been set up in the Fires of Heaven. I think, and I think I might have told you this.
Mhm.
One alternative to what we got in Fires of Heaven was, if Couladin was executed directly by Rand. Let's say Matt, manages to beat him and captures him, and they put him on trial for what he did in the Jangkai Pass, I think, which is where the pass through the mountains, because they terrorized those people and
Mhm.
all that. Took all their women and children away to be Gaishine.
Mhm.
Um, Rand being the law, and that, and him hanging people before that, I think would have been a good setup for that. And so Rand, you know, sentences him, and Coolan tries to talk, but he cuts him off.
Mhm.
cuts him off and hangs him, cool it instead. And Savannah, and then that's over. And then there's a very small, you know how Robert Jordan likes to write little, tiny little, sections of a chapter where it's from another character's point of view. It's very brief. Well, it would have been Savannah just watching the whole thing, and then she's just you can kind of tell that she looks and she smiles and she's like, this dragon, this I think I like this guy. I think I want this guy. And it would make sense, in my opinion. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I could see how they could have done it that way.
And it would have set. I think it would have set this up perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well,
but then
either
again,
way,
I'm not. Again, Robert Jordan wrote what Robert Jordan wrote. So
yeah. This is a man who finished a book from beyond the grave, so he will forever have my respect, or the fact that he set that up. But yeah, so when they all kind of show up, it's already in the midst of this huge battle, like you said, all these wise women, all that, and then meanwhile, I just could read this over and over again. It's when Rand is getting ready to go, and he is trying to untie it, and then it says, before he even finished with the fists of spirit, he channeled air. The chest exploded away from him with a loud boom, and it just went boom. And like I said, he instantly stilled every woman around him. You said it was like 3 or 4 at least. And I'm like, that is awesome. And they were the bitches that were kind of making, well, one of them was laughing at, I just double checked on that. It's like he thought he heard a woman laugh. He's like, you ain't gonna laugh. Maybe they were laughing at him, maybe not, they weren't, but you don't laugh around Rand when he's in a box. And
then you have Luce Theron saying, free, they will pay. I am the Lord of the Morning. Where is Galena? Like
yeah, let's go get this bitch. And they do. And this is where things just get so incredibly cool. So you have Aes Sedai fighting, you've got the Aiel, you've got the bad Aiel ladies there. Perrin shows up, and I forget which happens first. Is it that he calls the wolves, because he like had all the wolves talking to each other, and like it was kind of like that scene in Lord of the Rings and they're lighting the beacons in the movie, but it was like the wolves were carrying the message, till it turned out when they finally called and he told them to attack, there were 1,000 wolves, and they just come in and just start tearing them limb from limb. And I'm just like,
that was before this.
Okay, yeah, it was so awesome. And
so you got that they're doing their thing. Perrin's trying to fight his way into the center of the siege. So and him and Loyal are back to back fighting Shido, and they're like, well, we might not make it. We might not get to Rand in time. So there's just like this overwhelming odds, against them because of the fact that there's all these Shido there. So
yes.
And before that, Rand sent a letter to Mazrim Time before he got captured, before he got caught, and told him to stay the fuck away from Caemlyn. So I'm figuring Time knew something was up. I don't know. I'm not even sure how Time and the rest of the Ashraman found him, to be honest.
Yeah. But Young Bull had a moment. It was glorious.
Yes. Yep, Perrin's a wolf name.
Yes. Oh, it was so incredibly cool. And,
yes.
And did they find him? Yes, they did, because suddenly, in the midst of all of this, you saw they were like, wait a second, there's like this little lightning thingish thing happening, and all these men in black, dressed in black, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's the Ashraman. And they just start going. I mean, they were beasts themselves too. I mean, just unleashing the one power, and they had no problem. They don't have any of those rules like the Aes Sedai. They're like, no, it's a weapon. We're doing it. Taib is a little bit crazy, but you know what? He's a killing machine too. And they were just bodies flying left and right. And they did a shield thing, or I know this is probably all out of order because to me I felt like it was all kind of happening at once. And then through that, one of them raised the flag of the dragon or something, so they knew it was Rand. It was just, I don't know, it was just so cool.
Yeah, and did you notice that the two women, the two Aes Sedai women, despite the fact that Perrin was in charge, they decided to join the battle, go in the battlefield against his orders, so that they could, they have, in order for an Aes Sedai to attack somebody or to fight somebody, they have to be in danger themselves, unless they're shadow spawn. They because of the O's, they cannot hurt other people. They cannot they cannot harm another person. So that's kind of why I believe that's kind of why they went into the battle like that. And Perrin's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Seriously? So.
Yeah, and they're like, seriously. William Richards says, right, day one of Aes Sedai training sweep, the 4 day one of Ashaman training. Imagine that rock is a guy's face now, blow it up.
Yeah.
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 And he also confirms a time found out from someone in the palace, and then they gatewayed along the path until they found everyone. Okay.
Oh, okay. Because I know how the Aes Sedai find. So I know how the Aes Sedai find how they find Rance, because of Alana, the bond with Alana. Alana is able to lead them to him, and that's how they find him. So, yeah, I really loved like the build up from these chapters, just building up to this moment right here. So, but yeah, like I like how, once he's free, once he's able to get up, he starts. I just imagined, like, shot, he snaps, and the shot, the Aes Sedai falls, or they get shielded, and then he just keeps doing it until they're all down, to the point where the barrier that they're fighting with is gone. So now they're vulnerable, but Perrin and the rest of the Ashaman and everyone else, and most people that were in the midst of the battle have managed to get to him in time. And even before that, there's a point where, remember, Gawain and Rand have a little bit of a moment. Gawain's like, the next time I see you, I'll kill you, or something like that.
Yeah. Althor, one day I will see you die.
Yeah, and we're just like, whatever, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. And what was it that Rand had said to, let's see, the time had found him and brought Ashaman. Yeah, a jagged silver blaze split a tree. And she's like, friends are here. And Min says, and time turned to Rand. Under the circumstance, I trust you will not hold it against me violating your command about confronting Aes Sedai. I had reason to visit you in, okay, there it is, in Cairn, and you look the worse for wear. You will allow me to... Oh, I see. It was about the healing. I'm trying to find exactly the point where did I have it here, where he decided to just tell them to kill them all. And he does. Let's see. Inside it, unless even as Rand looked, because they were inside the dome. And I think it's when the dome came down. Oh, yeah. Rand says, let the dome go.
Yeah, so he has them hold, and he has them, weave a barrier to, obviously protect them, because they're, vastly outnumbered. But then, it comes to a point where Rand has to make a decision. He's like, either they can stay there, or they can or open the gate and turn those Ashaman, those weapons, which is, I think, what he calls them in the earlier in the book. It's like, I need weapons time. Weapons, basically meat grinders.
Yes.
Human meat grinders, grinding some I yield, basically. And that's basically what happened. So, you know, time gives the order. Ashaman, kill.
Yeah,
Ashaman, roll ring of fire.
oh, it was so awesome. Yeah, I found the exact words. I told you to make weapons, time. Show me just how deadly they are. And I'm like,
Yeah,
break them. Yeah, and you're right.
yeah. And then it gets, and then it just gets better. He's like, stop it, time.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. So that right there just tells you, is Rand really in control?
Yeah.
Or is or does or is, you know, like I said, is time just, you know, is there more to time than that? And
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting close. You said you're halfway through Path of Daggers, so there's going to be a point where some things might happen. You're kind of like, okay, something's going on with this. Something's going on with him and the others. Not quite sure what it is yet, but I'm not quite
Mhm.
sure yet because I haven't gotten that far yet. But
Well,
yeah,
it's like he understands that time is good to have on my side, but I'm not sure I
his
trust,
intentions.
or not even his intention so much as, is he just a little too hardcore for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That too. Or maybe he's just bad all around. I mean, like there's
Mhm.
that moment where uh time when they're having their like little graduation ceremony for all those people, he pins time with, you know, the dragon on his thing, because Ashaman, you have the soldier, then you have the dedicated, and then you have the Ashaman. And the Ashaman gets like the dragon. Uh, he gets the dragon thing, and
Pin,
he
yeah.
looked like he was gonna vomit, or he looked like he was gonna go into a fit or something. And Rand's like, "What the fuck is the matter with you, time?
Yeah.
What the yeah?" And yeah, so you're kind of like, what's going on with him? Is he not who he says he is? I don't know if I
Mm,
should bring that up, but a lot of people believe that he was a certain character that was also in this book. I won't say who.
interesting. Well,
Yeah,
or it's just old-fashioned jealousy, because he's like, he got demoted. He was the dragon reborn, and now he's a false dragon, and now he's working for the dragon.
yeah,
It could be, but oh yeah, and that was when, and then Rand, where the banner was raised, he says, "Raise the banner, let them know who holds the camp." And then yeah, so, and then just the way bodies are flying over there, and yes, and he does actually stop. He stops at Tam, and there's just limbs, and it's like a nuclear bomb just was completely detonated
mm-hmm.
there, and they captured a whole bunch of the bitches and all of that, except of course Galena was not among them. I'm like, damn
Yeah.
it. She got away. It's
Or
like,
did she get away? You know, if you're far enough, you know
well,
what
yeah,
happened
she
to
got
her.
away from a certain point of view.
Yeah,
And
a
then,
certain point of view.
oh, oh, okay, this was just too beautiful. And then the other Aes Sedai who had fought on Rand's side, if you will, at this point, and but they were the ones that were part of the group that
The,
hadn't listened to him, and they go, what did Rand say? He
I have it
said,
right. I have it right here. I have it right here.
okay,
You
yeah, you,
have done well. I am Bera Harkin, and this is Karuna Nachiman. We came to rescue you with Alana's aid.
yes,
Though it seems you had small need of us, still intentions do count, and your place is with them.
yep,
You
oh yeah,
forget who we are. They may have mistreated you, but I forget nothing, Aes Sedai. I said 6 would come, but I count 9. I said you would be on equal footing with the tower emissaries, and for bringing 9, you will be. They are on their knees, Aes Sedai. Kneel.
yes, I
And then,
loved that.
yep, and then we get the very famous Mazrim timeline. Kneel and swear to the Lord Dragon, or you will be knelt. and he's
Yes.
laughing. So I when I did my book club stream, I did it like I did it a little bit. I was a little bit more dramatic. I was like, kneel and swear to the Lord Dragon, or you will be knelt.
No.
But if you listen to way Michael Kramer says it, and if you read it the way if you read it the way that Robert Jordan has it, he says it softly. He's like, kneel and swear to the Lord Dragon, or you will be knelt.
Exactly. And I
Like
just
that.
love it because, as you said, he was smiling. It said, or time appeared to be as close to a smile as Rand had ever seen him. I mean, I was dying when I was reading this, especially since that dumb bitch, Karina, oh no, you're mistaking us for the other ones. And the fact that Rand reminded her, after all of that, you still didn't do what I said. So you're going to be equal to the Aleda ones. I mean, that was great. And then
I kind
it
of
goes
want.
in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I wanted to ask you if I could read the chapter after, or the paragraph after this. This is really good. I like how this. I like how he ends this. If
Oh,
it's
okay. You
okay.
can go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say, as stories tell, as a tale spread. Go ahead.
Yes, as stories do, the tale spread across Kyrian and north and south by merchant train and peddler and simple traveler gossiping at an inn. As stories do, the tale changed with every telling. The Aiel had turned on the dragon reborn and killed him at Dumai's wells or elsewhere. No, the Aes Sedai had saved Rand al'Thor. It was Aes Sedai who had killed him. No, gentled him. No, carried him to Tarvalon, where he languished in a dungeon beneath the White Tower, or else where the Amerlin seat herself knelt to him. Unusually for stories, it was something very close to the truth that was most often believed. On a day of fire and blood, that sounds familiar,
Mm.
a tattered banner waved above Dumai's wells, bearing the ancient symbol of Aes Sedai. On a day of fire and blood in the one power, as prophecy had suggested, the unstained tower, broken, bent knee to the forgotten sign. The first 9 Aes Sedai swore fealty to the dragon reborn, and the world was changed forever.
Yes, and I nearly cheered. I'm alone in a house with a dog and 2 cats, and I just was like ready to just cheer. It was amazing. Yeah. Uh, yeah. This is a good thing. Time's version of a smile is a wolf looking at a trapped deer. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want Time to ever smile at me. Yes.
I'm thinking of. You remember the Emperor in Star Wars? When he smiles when he's about to. He's like, "Now, young Skywalker, you will die," and then he smiles, and then he,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
and then he goes for the final blast. That's kind of what I thought. That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
Luke
my
wasn't really
gosh.
trapped, but he couldn't move, and he was sitting duck.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
before
yeah,
we go to the epilogue, I like the way that they end with the poem, and the poem or a prophecy or something. This one kind of flows into what just happened. It says, the unstained tower breaks and bends knee to the forgotten sign. The seas rage and storm clouds gather unseen. Beyond the horizon, hidden fires swell and serpents nestle in the bosom. What was exalted is cast down. What was cast down is raised up. Order burns to clear his path. And that's one of the prophecies of the dragon. And so ends the 6th book of the Wheel of Time.
so yeah, I'm curious if like he had all these little epigraphs. I wonder if he got that idea from Dune, because Dune has like these type of little epigraphs. I think.
Oh, I've never read Dune, so I wouldn't know. Yeah.
It's a book about people on a planet, a desert planet, but that's not important right now. Okay, that was bad.
Well, yeah,
That was
I
terrible.
kind of know the premise, but yes. Oh,
But yeah, so the
so
epilogue is actually like really short. Like it's only like a few pages, and like it's split up into like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like just like 2 to 3 paragraphs at the most. So it's very short and brief compared to how Robert Jordan usually writes, with very long paragraphs setting up, painting the picture of what's going on.
yeah. Well, it's like the bad guys, but the man only paused long enough to rest his hand on the door of the sit-in chair and was away as soon as Falion took the note from his fingers. And the note had only one word, gone. Um, she crumpled it in her fist. Somehow they had slipped out again without her people inside seeing. Months of futile search had convinced her there was no cache of Angriel, whatever Mogadien believed. And it's like, yet if Elaine and Nynaeve were here, they had ruined everything in Tanchico. And
yeah, so this is the black. So there's some black Aja and Abodar right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Falion is one of the black Aja right now.
Correct.
And so right now they're looking for the Forsaken are basically looking for powerful Angriel, Angriel, maybe some Terra Angriel, so that they can take over and get. I mean, each can has their own like ambition, and they all want to be Nameless.
Yeah.
So
they all want to be
so
the second in command.
So right here they're working for Samael, and Samael wants to. If Samael in this particular book wants to last all the way to the last battle to fight Rand, and so he gives him a truce, and the truce is as a sacrifice. So a guy's like eyes start to bleed, and then he just dies. It was just like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
so
like,
that.
Well, yeah, that the ultimate killing the messenger. It's like a twist on that.
Yeah, so they were working for Mogadien. Mogadien wanted the same thing, but looks like Mogadien's kind of she's in a bit of a pickle. She's been in a pickle since Fires of Heaven, so we all know what's going on with her. Actually, no, what is going on with her? Doesn't she?
She at the end of she's let go, but before that, there's a little thing that they're talking about. Fel, he's sitting there being in his library thing, and a golem squeezes underneath. And then it says, when Idrian came to Fel's study, she stared at what was piled none too neatly on the floor beside the table. It took her a moment to realize what it was. And before she could scream out, she had many times heard of someone torn limb from limb, but she had never seen it before. So the Fel had been killed, Harold Fel been killed by a golem. And then they went back to Abudar, and then it says, check this out. I underlined this. Perhaps the return would come soon, and the daughter of the 9 moons with it. I'm like, what the fuck? The daughter of the 9 moons? That's the chick that's supposed to marry Matt.
Mm-hmm. And he keeps asking about her, like every time he goes to a bar or something, and he meets a girl, and he's like, does the term Dar 9 moons mean anything to you? And they're like, no, not really. Yeah. So, but you know who is returning, right?
Well, yeah, it was the dude from the first book, the bad guy. Or wait, when you say who's returning, because a lot of people are returning and changing things.
Well, who is returning from overseas?
I'll say. Oh, from overseas, the Shan Khan.
The Shan Chan, yeah.
Okay, Shan Khan, yeah. I was thinking of the guy.
So the Shan Chan are going to make a comeback in the next in Crown of Swords.
Yeah. So they're on their way, and then the cliffhanger is with Mogadien is hanging out, and then there's some chick, and she's like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "Call me Angar, Mogadien." And they recognized it. It was a secretary, Halima, but
yeah,
she or he used Saidin. That's what I thought you were talking about, was that character. Because isn't that the same Forsaken guy kind of reborn from the first book?
Yeah, he's the one with the mask, Balthamel. But this time he's a chick.
Yeah.
He's in a chick's body, but he still has like a male soul. So he only could still, channel Saidin.
Yeah. So what you're saying is cosmetically he might look like a woman, but he's still a man. It's how he was born.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a debate for another day. And she's like, you are summoned to Shayangul this very night. So it's like the good news is you're rescued. The bad news is you're being summoned. And speaking of someone who's been summoned, it is the prophet of the dragon himself. You causing a lot of trouble in the next book. Let the Lord of Chaos rule. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. It's pretty crazy. It was an amazing book. And you see, I liked the first few chapters, frankly, Brian, in the next book because it's a little more linear where it describes what's going on. Because at the end here, I loved it. It was chaos. It was just like I imagined, like bombs going off here,
Yeah.
wolves running there, Ashaman doing this, Gwen going, I will get you if it's the last thing I do, Randall that Thor, whatever, all of that. But it was like a ball of string, and you rolled it all up, and it all just went boom. So this denouement of Mogadien, because my first thought was, oh shit, of course Mogadien, yeah, she's going to probably get in trouble with the Dark Lord. But on the other hand, my first thought was Nynaeve. It's like, oh my gosh, she is going to come. Well, not just Nynaeve, anyone that held the trap. Well, Birgitta, Elaine, all of them, they're fuck. She's coming for them. It's going to be bad. I wouldn't say friend like new management. Oh, this is a prophet's favorite book of the series. Wow. Well, that's impressive. Well, I'll tell you, it was one hell of an ending. I mean, it was just great. I mean, I love the rest of the book too. But in any case, and then it ended with Demandred kneeling in the pit of doom, for once he did not care that Shaddai Haran watched his trembling with that eyeless, impassive gaze. Have I not done well, great Lord? The great Lord's laughter filled Demandred's head. Dun dun
And you're
dun.
kind of wondering what did Demandra do?
Exactly.
Do you think Demandra was another character in disguise?
I'll tell you, if he was, I will just lose my shit. That's part of the thing, is that you never know who is like a good person, a bad person, or forsaken, or see. So your theory is that he is Taim? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. He's actually not. But a lot of people believed that at the time when this was out. So no, he's not. He's not. They're not the same character.
Yeah, see, to me that wouldn't make sense because he wouldn't let him go that far, if you know what I mean. I just really feel like it's just the fact that everyone who is a man who can channel and is very powerful is always on the verge of going batshit crazy. I mean, they are kind of insane. And so you're going to get a whole load of, I'm glad he's on my side and I hope he stays there kind of a thing, because not only do you have like himself and him being a former dragon reborn or fake dragon, whatever you want to call it, there's also nearly 1,000 Ashaman who are unstable that could just lose it anytime, because men can go crazy at any moment.
Yep, and you're getting close to something like that. So.
Ooh, cool. Well, I did get to something in the Black of Swords, or whatever the hell the book is I'm reading right now.
Path of
Spoiler
Daggers.
alert, but I guess since we both read it at this point, where some of them are starting to kind of lose it, like, and they decided to poison them instead of letting them live, and they actually were saying that was merciful to do that to them. So yeah, we got trouble. There is a whole backstory to Tomandred. Oh, it's worth going into after you're done with the series. Oh, okay. Wow. You see, this is what I miss out on by not having been read it as it was happening. I know Steve has told me several times that between each book, everyone was just talking about it, speculating online on the bulletin boards that you just didn't know. And so loads of theories were going wild, and people were rereading the books in between and finding every single line. He said a big thing was who killed Asmodean, or I'm terrible with the names. That was a big mystery.
Asmodean, yeah.
Look at the flowers. I get that reference. Yes, I do. Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
What is it referencing?
It's referencing the thing from The Walking Dead where the kid was schizophrenic and she was like killing people, and they didn't have the means to look after her, so they did a mercy killing. And what they did was they told her, look at the flowers. So she's like, oh, flowers. And
That's
then
been a long time since I watched it. I don't think I remember
to
that.
the great beyond. It was
okay.
Pretty intense, but it was something that was hotly debated. That was back when The Walking Dead was good, where they were talking about the moral dilemma. It's like, was that wrong? Was it right? And considering the world, like if it was today, it would have been wrong. Or if it was a normal world, because, we have insane asylums, we have medicine and all that. But in a zombie apocalypse, you don't have those resources. Same idea. But yes, that this is what they were doing kind of with those Ashmaden who were losing it. And some of them actually burned themselves out. That was a thing as well. Or they just blew themselves up. Like they just... The Aes Sedai will always warn about that. It's like, this is why you can't do anything without us to guide you, because you could kill yourself. And apparently that's what happened. Yeah, Asmodean death debates were incredible. Oh, I bet they were. And I have heard that they were told that we do find out, I guess, but not for quite a while. Not for quite a while, from what I understand. So any time, it was good time. So I know I'm breaking my own rule, but you see, at least we're all at the same point in the books. But yeah, definitely not spoilers past here, because usually when we get to these books, I haven't read the next book, let alone been into the next book, but I've been reading like a wild woman. So I'm going to continue doing so. I think I am going to be able to finish this series by the end of the year. I'm going to make my New Year's resolution if I keep up at this pace, because I just can't stop. I just love it. And even the parts that may not be as good. I mean, I look back at things like The Great Hunt, which to me, that was just the best book ever. And endings like this that were just amazing. I've said it before, I've said it twice, and I'll say it 3 times or maybe 4 or 5. I just love living with these characters. And I almost have a little bit of melancholy, because I realize I will never again get to experience reading this for the first time, not knowing how it's going to end. Because like once I finish it, once I know it, then I'll never be able to go back. I'll never be able to go back to not knowing. So it's kind of fun. So I want to know how it all ends. I want to keep reading, and I will, but I'll never get this moment back. Oh, Prophet says how we found out is not satisfying at all. Oh, okay. See, this is also where maybe I'm kind of glad I wasn't reading as it was coming out, because at least I wasn't waiting a year between each book and then going, damn it, really? It was nothing?
Yeah, and it was I mean, Robert Jordan passed away before he could pay all this stuff, pay off a lot of this stuff. So Sanderson had to kind of take up that responsibility. And I mean,
well, from
another author, he's not going to do it justice.
Yeah, that's also a sadness to me too, that I realize that I've only got so many Robert Jordan ones left. I have been told, though, from almost everybody that they did as good as it could have gotten. That
from another author that that never met Robert Jordan at all, and he met the wife, Harriet, and he got his notes, and he got like an epilogue and maybe a few other drafts, and that's it. So
I mean, it wasn't going to be the same, regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sanderson had to fill in a lot of the gaps. So,
yep. William Richards says reading it for the second time is better. So much it makes sense with the benefit of hindsight. You know what? I'm almost there, William Richards, because I was confused the first 3-4 books, even when we were going through stuff, and I'm like, I still don't know if I understood what happened at the eye of the world, the end of the world, and all that. But as I'm going through and I know this world, it's like I'm understanding things as they're unfolding better. So I can't imagine once I'm done, and I probably will just turn around and start rereading them, to go back all the way back to the eye of the world after finishing book 14, knowing what I know now and understanding what I understand now. I just kind of can't wait. Um, Prophet of the Dragon says Sanderson did a fine job for the books he did for the most part. Yeah, and that's kind of what I've heard. But the Asmo stuff, he dropped the ball. Okay, I'm not sure to what. Oh, Asmodean. Sorry, rather Asmodean. And a few other things you will find out. Sanderson, I think, did a great job. Prophet of the Dragon says first reread can be better than the first read. You pick up all kinds of details. Yeah. See, that's what I'm imagining. I mean, I now completely get how the Tavern thing works. I get how the magic works so much better. I even understand why some of the characters are behaving the way they're behaving. I don't know, because the magic system was confusing to me, and even the Aiel and stuff. But I think that I understand so much more about the Aiel after that thing that they did right in season 3. What is it? The columns and all of that. Like that made sense. So I think that if I go back knowing the history of the Aiel and their original sin, if you will, and then going back and seeing them for the first time, or knowing who Avienda is going to become, I think it's going to make a lot more sense and be fun.
yeah, that's what everybody says. So,
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to reread it. I might reread sections of it. I'm not going to reread the whole series.
Oh, really? Interesting.
No, yeah, I don't. I'm not. I don't. I mean, there are good moments, but But it's not consistently good in my opinion.
Interesting. Well, have this. I anticipate that I will be doing my reread, listening to the audio version.
Oh, you absolutely should. Michael Kramer is excellent.
Yeah, and I've been told to make sure it's him because I was told that Rosamund Pike does one, I guess.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does one too. I don't know why. Yeah, listen to the Kramer and Kate Redding one. So Kate Redding does all the female points of view, and Michael Kramer does all the male points of view. So, but Michael Kramer is he's like Mel Blanc from Looney Tunes. He has like a billion different. He has a different voice for almost every character. That's how good he. That's how good he is. Like, you listen. I mean, I listened to some of his. Because I have the audiobook for the Stormlight Archive. I listened to a little bit of that when I went on my road trip to meet Prophet and a few other people, and he sounded totally different in that too.
Oh,
so you couldn't tell it was him. Like he has a very specific voice for Rand, for Perrin, for Matt. He can do like a whole bunch of accents. He does like this weird English accent for Elaine. Yeah.
Well, that's
and he does a weird. And I was just listening. He does a weird prissy voice for a character named Balwer. If you remember Balwer,
you
don't. Okay.
Maybe. I've got so many characters right now. Well, yeah. I'll tell you what. No, AI will never be able to take over the skill that these people have, in my humble opinion.
No, of course not.
I mean, technically they might get it, but that there is an art to voices, and I don't understand how people can do it, but hey, that's their skill, not mine. Well, let's go ahead and start wrapping up this party. So if you were to give the entire book a score, like I think that I would say that the ending, of course, is a 10 out of 10. But if you were
Agreed.
just looking at the book as a whole, what would you give this book a
I'd probably give it a
score?
7.5 out of 10. There were some rough parts for me.
Mhm.
Like there was this. I mean, I know it was all setting up Matt and the band of the Red Hand. I get it, but it was a very long setup,
Mhm.
and I got bored with it. I was just like, oh, please, is something interesting going to happen? Well, I mean, the interesting thing that's happening is Matt and his men are patrolling and being cool or something like that. And to me, that just wasn't enough. So, and that's the same chapter where he's like dancing and he's recalling things from the past, and he dances with this girl that you'll never see again in the inn. And he's like, does the daughter of the nine moons mean anything to you? And she's like, no.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I know what you mean.
yeah, I mean, it does get better. Matt's stuff does get better. Like he goes off, and then instead of having this book starts the whole thing where, um, and even to right now, like the shadow spawn, just like attacking and ambushing is not much of a thing now. I mean, we do see shadow spawn, but we see them in the dream because remember, the Aes Sedai are attempting to navigate in the dream world from, um, I think Egwene's not maybe not Egwene, but like Nynaeve and Elaine's direction, and they accidentally think like negative thoughts or something, and then all of a sudden they freak out, and then all of a sudden there's these Trollocs or just a pair, and then they're about to be cooked or something like that. And I think they have to think. I think Elaine has to force them to think positive thoughts or something for the dream to not to revert to normal.
Oh,
But instead of the shadow spawn being like the Trollocs and the Murdral, instead of seeing them uh, in the forefront, we actually see this time the Shido attack Matt when Matt's I think when Matt's like marching in the was it the plains of Moredo, I think. And he's like, "Get up, you!" They're about like one of his lieutenant is drunk, and he's like stumbling. And Matt notices Aiel are about to ambush him, and he's just like, "Wake up, you dogs! We're under attack!" And then
yeah.
he goes all military, and then there's a nice little fight, and you're like, okay, where did these Shido come from? And then there's like hints that there's a gateway involved, so. Um, Maybe Savannah sent them,
Oh, could be. I don't know.
or Samael, possibly.
Oh gosh, Samuel. Well, yeah, and I've got things to say about him. But of course, that's all for the next book. Uh, my goodness gracious. Okay, well, I could see how you could give that a 7.5.
Yeah, I mean the first few chapters are really good. The first three, introducing Mazrin Time and Davram Bashir and the Black Tower was great, but then it kind of slows down a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And then we get a
Think
whole bunch of Saladar stuff. And honestly, I wasn't the biggest fan of like Nynaeve, healing the Aes Sedai. It took them thousands of years to learn that until our heroes were there, and then they learned it. So it was an issue I had.
ah, I have a theory about that, but actually, just I want to say to Prophet of the Dragon, thank you for showing up. We always like it when a prophet appears. I'm leaving work. Y'all have a great rest of the night. If I'll be live myself in 45 minutes. Glad you're enjoying Miss Smart Music. Oh, yes, I will definitely be there to give a wave. Um, the way I saw some of this stuff going on is that because this is like in times prophecies, that's why we're seeing extraordinary things occurring
Mm-hmm.
because it's all leading to Armageddon or Tarmageddon. Not Armageddon. Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of wish it like I know like the story kind of slows down at this point. I kind of wish it felt a little bit more. I mean, sometimes like those early chapters with Time and Rand scrambling to get this Black Tower thing set up because he said he's worried about dreadlords having to take on dreadlords by himself
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And that made me interested because I'm curious what's going to be done. Who are these dreadlords going to be? I mean, there's still
Ooh.
some Black Aja left, obviously.
Yep.
Um, but I don't know like who would be a dreadlord. So
Yeah,
maybe some of those Ashaman will turn. Maybe some of them are dark fronts.
could be. Well, you know what's funny? What's in the back of my mind, like the way some of the things that you had pointed out to me back in the second book, like, "Hey, did you notice this?" And I'm like, "I didn't notice a damn thing." I'm wondering if some of this stuff is after we read the next.
That's why everybody talks about like the second read, because you start to notice stuff and all that. But I tend to, when I read, I tend to read very closely, and like
Mhm.
I've because I've read, I've read Martin and all that. And so it's like reading in between the lines, and I've learned, about the unreliable narrator and everything. So
Oh,
when I hear, I can kind of read in between the lines on a lot of this stuff.
oh,
But there's
sure.
a
But
lot
what
of,
I
there's still a lot of stuff that is easily forgettable.
Yeah. Well, where I was kind of going with that was that maybe the way you're talking here, after we read the next few books, it'll be really obvious. Like when you're saying, are they a dreadlord or something? Or will it be something like, oh, I can't believe that we missed this? Or would it be one of those things that it came to nothing? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just what's
possibly.
unknown because we don't know because we haven't read it. So,
Yeah, I mean, part of the way I was able to keep myself interested in this series, I had to kind of look ahead to see what was going to happen, or get an idea, gauge what was possibly what was going to happen, because a lot. I mean, it just doesn't feel like, I don't feel the urgency that I should be feeling with the last battle looming over everybody.
oh,
So that's part of my issue. So I'm right now. I mean, my expectations are an all time low for going forward. So that's kind of why I was able to enjoy the last couple books, and of course this book's ending was fantastic. So
yeah.
it kept me reading the series. Um, but
You
like,
know,
I don't know,
I
the
can,
introduction of like new characters. I mean, compared to the characters that Song of Ice and Fire were, compared to those characters, I find these characters kind of. I mean, there's good moments, but like a lot of the side characters, I don't remember their names. They're not very. They don't stand out. Even some of the more central characters. I mean,
they're too similar.
they're
I'm
they're
really
either too
confused.
similar, or they're unlikable. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like Nynaeve.
Yeah.
I don't like Elaine, and I don't like Egwene either. I don't like any, and all the fans, are my our buddies will say you're not supposed to like them. That's why Robert Jordan wrote it that way. And that's probably true. But I can read unlikable characters and still enjoy them. Like, I remember reading Sansa in, Game of Thrones. She wasn't likable. She was the one that got her father in trouble. But it was interesting reading her arc, because she was in constant danger,
Yeah.
and she had to learn to, you know, adapt to it. I liked reading Cersei, because Cersei is just bad, causing trouble. And you're like,
Yeah.
how's this going to bite her in the ass? So
Yeah, I can see how if you
I
personally
still
feel that way about these characters that it would be difficult to enjoy it because, you know,
and
I,
Nynaeve had her moment. You read that moment in Crown of Swords where Moghedien does something, and Nynaeve manages to not only manages to save herself, but she also gets saved by a certain someone.
yeah,
And a certain aspect of her arc kind of ends, and because of that, and I read Path of Daggers, she kind of turns into a background character because of that. Now I'm sure she's going to have more of a role in the future, but because of that, to me, it kind of felt like her arc ended in
yeah.
Crown of Swords with that, with her, her her inability to channel the block that I think she
Oh,
has.
yeah, yeah. When that finally breaks through, yeah,
Yeah,
because yeah, that's interesting. I still don't like her, but interesting. I'll see.
like
Like
well,
I said, I'm
like when they're when I re, when I see their chapters, I'm just like, okay, just roll with the punches, I guess. And that's an
yeah,
issue I have with that. That's an issue I have with Wheel of Time. Like, there are books that I can read from start to finish and enjoy, or find something, find something, find something to take away from it, and which is what I'm really trying to do right now. Reading, you know, I enjoyed the prologue for Winter's Heart,
Mhm.
and I listened to the first chapter of Winter's Heart. So far, I'm happy with it. And there were I like Path of Daggers more than I thought I would. So, um, um, but yeah, some characters are just characters I wanted to see more of, which is another disappointment. Have kind of like turned into background characters, like Tom Maryland. I was expecting to see more out of Tom Maryland, some
Oh
more
yeah,
interesting
I
stuff
definitely
out
want
of
more of
him.
him.
I thought that there was going to be something interesting with him in The Shadow Rising, when he has him and Moraine do that little, they do this little standoff, talking, game of houses and all that type of thing.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was interesting. I was hoping he would do some cool stuff. But instead, Elaine's just tugging at his mustaches and being berated by Nynaeve and Tanchico, and I couldn't stand that. So I couldn't
That
stand it.
actually was annoying.
I couldn't stand Tanchico because of that. And then all of a sudden, Nynaeve is strong enough to fight Mogedi, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. I didn't see
Hmm.
that coming. I thought our heroes would have to train more in order to fight the Forsaken. So, but that's just me. Um, but yeah,
Well,
Tanchico. The only good part of Tanchico was when Mogedion shows up for the first time, and casts compulsion on them. I was like, good,
yeah, that
finally.
was creepy.
I want. It was creepy, but it was. I felt like it was weird. I was rooting for the bad guy more than the good guy, because I really wanted those girls to have a comeuppance. And it was nice. It was actually really nice. I kind of want them to keep having comeuppances, to be honest. So there's a
Well, you never
point.
know.
Yeah. Oh, Robert Jordan doesn't like the like Perrin and Rand and Matt. Robert Jordan doesn't like to do anything bad to the Wonder Girls or the Super Girls, as Mike's book
Mm.
reviews calls them. So I liked their arcs in the first three books, because they were they were in danger. They in the Great Hunt, they get Egwene gets taken by the Shan, and then and then in Dragon Reborn, after they meet the Aiel, they get captured by these men, and they're almost sold to the Murdral, and then the Aiel come and rescue them. They say, "Dance with us, Shadow Man! Come on, dance with us!" That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, but then the Aiel kind of, I like the glass columns. I like that build up, that world building. But I couldn't stand the Aiel characters, to be honest. I still can't stand the wise ones.
Mm.
I just want them to go away, or I want them to die, but
They're
there's so
smug
many of them.
bitches.
There's so many of them, and they're never going to go away.
Well, we'll see. We'll never say never. Technically, remember, we're only about halfway through the series,
Yeah,
or a
but
little past halfway.
They all survive, so yeah. I'm annoyed.
Well, we shall see. In any case, I would give it a higher score than you. I would probably give this one about an 8.5. I still, as I've said, I just enjoy living in this world. I just am really enjoying it. Thought it was a little bit longer than it should have been, and I think that's why this one actually took me quite a while, even though I had my busted knee. I played more Red Dead Redemption than went to read this, because I think that maybe he could have taken out 100 pages easily, and it would have still moved along.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way about Fires of Heaven too. And even parts of the Shadow Rising, especially especially some of the Rand stuff in between He Who Comes with the Dawn and um Alkir Dal.
Mm.
Like maybe put one chapter in between. I don't know
Yeah.
where we meet. I don't know. They wanted to meet these other characters, and then put in the Sasmodian fight. And I wasn't a big fan when I first read it. I mean, the fight. I mean, the chase itself is really cool and well detailed and pretty awesome. But I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it when I read it, because I was expecting something else. I was
Ah,
expecting them to fight their way out of Valkyr Dal and regroup. That's kind of what I was expecting.
okay. We see. I have a bit of a different. I'm not expecting anything. Maybe it's because I'm past 50 and I don't give a crap about anything at this point. I don't. History is one long defeat, and probably my fantasy is as well. Fantasy books, but yeah, it'll be okay. Well, this is all cool. Now, I want you. Why don't you share with us what you have coming up?
I mean, I have a Chillporeal scheduled next Friday. But I don't really have much. Been thinking about making a video again. I haven't done one in a long time. Um, been looking into making a video about a Mario game that I played a long time ago. That some people might not call it a Mario game because of the fact that it's an educational game,
Oh,
and I didn't know it was an educational game when I was a kid. So I got that game, and I learned quite a bit. And I managed to do pretty good in some of our geography competitions, but in grade school. But yeah, I might do a video on that. There's a lot of things to do. I started. I want to get. I did the Path of Daggers thing last week, so definitely check that out if you're here and you haven't. Um, I want to get to. My goal is to finish the Wheel of Time this year. Um, Same as Teresa. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a dual stream. Uh, maybe if you are caught up, maybe you could join the book club. Maybe you could
oh,
join the book club or something, and then we could still do these, on your channel. I don't know. We'll have to coordinate that. Um, and I do plan to rehash some details. There's a lot of details I forgot about
yeah.
channeling and about the world. So I want to read this, despite the fact that there's a stupid Amazon Circle saying there's
Ugh,
now an original series on Prime Video. Ugh, I
it's
shouldn't have bought this.
way
Bought
to
this
ruin a
version.
book.
Yeah, you had the nerve to cover. You had the nerve to cover some art. It was probably, I think it's Aiel. They covered the Aiel. So yeah,
Go
the
figure.
spear. That's a spear right there.
Yeah,
They covered Aiel right here.
yeah. And for a series that has been canceled. It's like not anymore, pals. Not anymore. Is this a series on Amazon Prime?
They
Oh
should
dear.
totally take that. They should totally take this off. Like seriously. Like
Write a strongly worded letter to the company or Amazon. I don't know. No, that would really annoy me. That would annoy the F out of me because that's not what you want to see. You want the cover the way it should be. No one wants a stupid sticker, especially one that's built in that you can't take off. I mean, gosh darn it. Well, and you can find me here on Miss Smart Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really, really ticks me off. The world still kind of ticks me off, but I don't have a lot of energy for it. Let me see. I'm got some pathological things to talk about. Dark triad, cry bullies, all that kind of stuff. Anything that annoys me, that's usually what I like to talk about with my psychosis series. I have some more shorts coming up, maybe some more Harry Potter content because I do have it on the mind. And of course, if you are wanting my Catholic content, I now have a separate channel for all of that called Catholic Explaining. I'm about to get my first 100 subs. So if you're interested, check that out as well. So that's it.
Catholic, yeah, Catholic explaining. Yeah, we got it. We have to. I have to do some more. I have to do some more Catholic learning.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, the reason why it's Catholic Explaining is it's one way. It's Catholic explain. I'm gonna Catholic explain you and then go home. But it's fun. Well, you're Orthodox. We're pretty close. We're very
I
close
was I
actually.
was Orthodox.
Oh, you were. My fault.
I
I
I was considering this weekend going to church, going to a church. I don't know where I'd go though, but Orthodox are still based. Like with all the stuff going on politically, with all the ideologies going on. Um, Now this is something I'm concerned about. I'm sure you're concerned about too. Is that yeah, you've probably talked about that the church is going a word that rhymes with smoke. that the Anglicans and the Episcopalians already
yes,
did.
yes.
So
yeah.
I'm kind of worried that the world's oldest institution is just going to go along with the G word. Global is something.
Yeah. Oh.
So, but yeah, that's I don't know. I'm hoping it's not the case, especially with this new pope.
Well, the gates of hell will not prevail. It's well, if you're talking about like the Church of England and stuff, well, I always tell people, watch a man for all seasons. Thomas More was right, but it was a mistake. It was a mistake, but definitely we're. It's a different world.
Wasn't it started basically to divorce so that Henry VIII can divorce Catherine of Aragon, basically?
Yeah, he wanted to put aside his queen, and they were like, no. It's like, fine, then I'll start my own church.
Yeah. So it's kind of started under
adultery.
Bad. What do you call it? Bad
foundation.
Bad foundation. Sinful foundation.
Yeah.
I think. I have to refresh my Bible teachings on divorce, and of course adultery. Well, adultery is one of the commandments, so yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well.
And
that's another discussion for another day, because I moved that all over to Catholic explaining, but I actually talk about that under adultery. But yes, it's an issue. But I just like anything else, do not let your heart be troubled. But yes, my Catholic content will go over there, and I will only talk about Roman Catholicism over there, like I said, because that's what I am. And I don't talk about Orthodox and all that because mainly I don't know what I'm talking about. So I don't. Very simple.
Or Oriental Catholic, I think. Or
the Eastern churches, if they're Eastern Catholic churches, I do sometimes talk about them. But I am a Latin Rite Catholic, so that's what I know.
What's the Eastern Catholic Church? What rite are they?
Well, the Eastern rites, that's like the Byzantine Rite, you got the Maronite Rite. There's 23 of them.
Well, I know the Orthodox, the Eastern Orthodox, especially the Antiochian. The church that I went to was Byzantine, right? I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can be a Catholic and go to the Byzantine rites and all that, because those are fully Catholic. You can be go to any of those, but the Orthodox, the ones we call Orthodox, are the ones that like the Greek Orthodox and all of that. So yeah, maybe one of these days I'll do a Catholic explaining on the rites, but Latin Rite is the one that I am, and that's one that most people in the West are. Yeah,
the Roman Rite, also known as the Roman Rite, I think.
Also known as the Roman Rite, and it consists of, there's several different liturgies within it. We have like the Dominican liturgy, we have the Anglican kind of liturgy, which is very similar to what you would find in the Church of England, but it's fully Catholic. And then you have the Old Latin Mass, and you have the ordinary form. But wow, we are getting off topic. But yeah, you know what? Maybe we could talk about this stuff at another time. But anyways, that's a long way of saying if you want more Catholic content, it's on Catholic Explaining. So good times, as always. So my cat is coming for my earphones again, so that's a great time to sign off on all of this. Thank you very much, Brian, for being here. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to read The Wheel of Time, or if you don't want to read The Wheel of Time, read good fantasy.